Hey guys, so just want to give you guys an update. I'm going to be making this project for my mom for Christmas. Basically, it's going to be a car rim and drilled in. There's a hole drilled in, and we're going to put a barbecue burner, run the line out, have a dial on the outside, put a grill on top of that, bunch of lava rock, and hook it up to a propane tank and kind of do a do-it-yourself fire, like propane fire pit for outside. So hopefully a cover, but I haven't figured that out yet. But I kind of drew up some plans and stuff, and so far everything kind of makes sense in theory, but we'll see what happens when it comes to actually building it. So I picked up a barbecue today. Some guy was giving it out on Kijiji for free, so I went and picked that up. And I went to Kenny's U-Pull, like the local junkyard, and grabbed a like a 16.5-inch car rim. So I'm hoping that's the right size for the burners I pull out of this barbecue. If not, I got some extra burners in the back, in the backyard. So it's all a matter of kind of figuring it out. I mean, I drew up the plans, and that kind of, it looks like it'll work out, but I'm definitely going to run into a lot of struggles, and I'm gonna bring you guys with me along this journey. But yeah, it's gonna be an ongoing project, so I may split this up into 2 videos depending on how quickly it gets done. So first things first, I'm going to clean the rim, sand it, and do some measurements to make sure the burners fit in. So I got to pull the burners out of that barbecue. Taken apart a barbecue before, so this should be interesting. I'm going to try and salvage as many parts as possible, especially the propane lines and all these switches and fittings and whatever there is, so I don't have to go out and buy more, because from what I've heard, they're expensive. So I'm just going to take it apart right now, and then I'll see if it fits in the rim, and if not, we'll either look for another burner or we'll cut the rim out or something like that. We'll figure it out when we get there anyway. So yeah, just gonna go do that right now.
Every time she moves, and everybody's watching her, but she's looking at you. Ooh, ooh, you.
Okay, so I got the burners out. There's 3 in total. They're over there. They're a little bit rusty, but I don't mind. Like, it's a DIY thing. It's nothing professional, so as long as they last. I mean, this one's got a little crack in it, so I might not use this one. I'm probably going to be using 1 or 2, depending on how many I can fit in there. It was really interesting taking it all apart. I mean, seeing all the fittings and stuff. There were a lot more screws than I anticipated, and the barbecue was wet. I mean, it was stored in snow when I went to go pick it up. It's rusty everywhere, as you can see, so like half the screws were seized or stripped, and there was cobwebs and stuff. It was just a really dirty job, so it took a lot longer than I thought, and there's a lot more small screws in places I couldn't use a drill, so I had to use a screwdriver for the whole thing. So that was pretty fun. But I got it all done. I got all my fittings. They look in really good condition, actually. They're all shiny and not rusted, so that's good. Tried to salvage as much as the ignition system as possible. Little spark, whatever, same thing as a barbecue lighter. But yeah, I'm gonna do some measurements and kind of brainstorm and see how I'm gonna put this in the car rim. Okay, so this is the rim right over there, and the burner actually, sadly, doesn't exactly fit well. This little extension at the end is kind of hitting the wall of the rim. So I have 1 out of 2 options, because I want to kind of put it in the middle-ish so I can lay a grill on top and then put lava rocks on the top. But My option right here is, if I can, I don't think I can, but cut off the tip, grind away the inside of the rim so that it will fit, or drill a hole in the side of the rim to kind of stick this fitting through, and then just kind of extend out the turn knob system, like just kind of put a little box or something so it's not like free and sticking out. But yeah, so I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do, and I'll show you guys. But first things first, this thing's really dirty, so I'm gonna sand it down and clean it up. So it's done being sanded. I sanded it basically not perfectly, but just enough so it's in decent shape. I didn't want to sand it all the way because I mean it's just going inside the rim. It doesn't have to look pretty. I just wanted to make sure there were no holes or cracks that the rust was hiding. So I just sanded it down a bit with this sanding sponge. I could have, if I wanted to, put a sand wheel in a grinder or dip in some chemicals or something, but for what I'm doing, this is fine. Now I just got to figure out whether or not I am going to be sticking it in the rim, cutting it off, or grinding the rim down. So I'm going to be looking at that, figuring out what my best option is based off the fittings I ripped off the barbecue. So I got caught up with a couple things, and I couldn't really get back to this till late. So no more daylight. I'm in the garage with the lights on, but anyways, I realized a couple things. One, I'm going to be limited to one burner because the burner bar it goes into where the propane feeds is really long, and the holes are far away from each other. So the longer I go, this has to be outside the rim. So the longer I go, the bigger the outer box has to be on it for the dials. So I thought one burner would definitely be enough. And considering it's a fire pit, you want more pressure so the flames can go higher. And if you have two burners, and the pressure split, so it'll be lower flames but more heat, where if you had one, it would be higher flames. So anyways, I realized that drilling a hole in this rim isn't as easy as I think it'd be, because I can't just use a drill hole attachment or anything like that because it's thick steel. So what I actually have to do is either go buy a $50 diamond drill hole attachment, which I don't want to do because it's like a budget build. Instead, I'm just gonna use a grinder. I'm gonna go through a couple wheels probably and just grind out a little square for the burner to go through. And yeah, I'll be doing that. It's gonna take a while. I'm gonna go through a lot of grinder wheels, so I'm gonna have some fun. Okay guys, so after like 30 minutes of grinding, I finally got this hole. It's not ideal because of the sharp edges. I mean, that's what happens when you use a 4.5-inch wheel on thick car rim steel. So what I'm gonna do is these rough edges right here and whatnot, I don't want that puncturing any line, and I kind of want it to look nice. I don't know, I'm a bit of a perfectionist sometimes. So I'm gonna sand that with an air compressor sander tool. Just gonna put like a little attachment on the end that'll just kind of spin it around here and just kind of clean it up. Okay, so here is it sanded out, so these edges aren't rough anymore. They're smooth as sand. So yeah, I'm gonna lay that down. I'm gonna put the burner in, and I'll see where we go from there. Burner like that. It needs to rest even. I'm gonna figure out how to rest that even. I'm gonna bolt it, put some brackets or something. But yeah, so that's basically that. See how that's sticking out there? That's where we're gonna put the housing, the connector, and then the housing, the connector, and then the dial. So it's gonna be a little stick out. And I still haven't thought of an ignition system yet. I'm not sure if I'm gonna take the one from the barbecue because it kind of got ripped out a bit, and I didn't really pay attention to how it was before. So I may either buy one or make one my own or rip one out of a barbecue lighter at home. But yeah, So that's how it's gonna be for now, and then I'll figure out how to do the next step. Okay, so what's gonna happen next is I put the burner in there and I cleaned it up, sanded it nice and good. I don't know if you guys can see, but yeah, it's nice and sanded, and I'm gonna I grinded that there too, and the edge of the burner, because I'm gonna tack weld that there so it stays level, because I need this burner here to be level. So I'm gonna tack weld that there, and then we'll see about putting the grill on top. But first things first, just gonna tack. So there is the tack weld. That's pre-clean up, but hopefully it's strong enough to just hold that in place. The real reason I want it kind of level is just because it's meant to be portable, because I'm putting handles on the side, so it would be nice if the burner didn't move around. Okay, so I got my grill from the barbecue, of course, and what I'm gonna want to do here is I'm gonna grind off. I'm gonna grind off right here. I'm gonna try and fit it in so that I don't have to weld it and it just rests perfectly. And I'm gonna do like a little curved cut up here with the grinder and see if I fit it in perfectly. And either I'm gonna individually attach these bars going across to make for the gaps, or I'm just gonna do the same thing on that side, but just kind of crisscross it, and we'll just have little tiny holes where the lava rocks won't be able to go. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and grind that right now. Okay, so I cut the grills, I placed them in, and I even tack welded some of them into place so that they don't move. Some of them were cut too short. I eyeballed it all. I didn't really measure it. Sorry. So the lava rocks will be placed on top of here, and then we will build our ignition system. Sorry, our fuel line system here or propane line system here going into the propane, and that's going to be a project itself. Basically, the easy part is done now. So, so that's what it looks like so far. I'm not doing any finishing until the end because I only want to finish the stuff you can see. Obviously, everything on the inside is dirty. I didn't even clean up the welds or anything, but it is what it is. This is a budget project, and we'll continue this another day I have free. So far, I'm really happy with my progress. I did a lot more than I thought I would, and I have a bunch of practice steel that I can practice welds on. None of these welds have to be pretty because they're not going to be seen, but in the future that probably won't be the case. So yeah, until next time.